So today, they're having their annual general meeting, but we are glad to worship with them today. And after lunch, they'll go in for their meeting down there as we prepare. And so we want to thank you, Mr. President, for bringing us the full team. And we are so glad. Thank you so much. His Excellency Godfrey Babi Kimera. You're welcome, sir. This is your time as you speak to all the candidates of Senior 6, and others are still coming, those who are still out. But please, these are the Senior 6 members. They are eagerly waiting to hear dreams come true. God bless you, sir.
Thank you, my pastor. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. May we all say happy Sabbath. I am privileged to be here to speak to candidates that are in the Senior 6 class. I was once there. Who can guess when I was in Senior 6? Madam here? 1990. Wow. That is when South Africa became independent. Welcome. Thank you, sir. Here. Let's come like this year. Yes. 2000. That's when Kawempe murdered over 1,000 people. So you want to say that you start while Kawempe was murdering people there? Yes. 2005. By that time I was working with Prime Radio. One or two more. Let me see, one or two more people here. The big school streets are here, yes. 1995. No. One person, the last there, yes. 1997. Move. You see this beautiful woman? I'm giving up all the streets. Count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm also giving her something else. I'm also giving her so what's your name? What's your name? She's Namuteri Anisha. A person called Waguma Kisure. You have never heard about him? Okay, you will hear about him very soon. Now, you have started becoming friends to another. In 1997, I completed my Senior 6 at Bishop Senior School Mukono. By the way, I started from a very poor primary school that is no longer existing for now. It was cleared off by the wind. So when you go to look for where I started my primary school, you can tell me that was the hill, but the primary school is no longer there. My secondary, I went to Mukono High School, and then I went to Bishop Senior School Mukono for my A-level. I came from a very humble family, located in a village which all of you don't want to live in if I mention the name of the village. Because they even used to say that whoever comes from that village seems also to be having legs walking in the Mbaliga form. Because I come from a village called Mbaliga. But in my A-level, I paid my fees up to senior 6, third term. By that time, we were paying 76,000 shillings, if I've not forgotten, for registration of the UNEB. I had failed to get my registration fees, so I sweet-talked my dad and told him, you know what, how about if I sell your bicycle and I pay my fees? My registration. He had some old bicycle which I was using again to ride it to school. So I sold that same bicycle and got the registration fees. During that time after registration, I stayed with my aunt slightly in Nabuti village, close to the school. I was staying in a mud and to sleep with my brother who was also in senior 4, but we were sleeping on the ground. She was the only person sleeping on the bed. But we maneuvered until when we sat for our senior 6. During the time of the examinations, someone who pretended to be knowing much of Uganda National Examination Board and who pretended to be a good examiner came in the night hours, slightly before, a day before we sat for the economics paper. And he told us, you know what? The paper you are sitting is here. Can we converge in the afternoon, rather in the evening, in the farm to discuss the paper? Many of us who wanted to excel in the economics paper, we gathered in the farm. There was some light for the farm manager. So we all sat like you are seated here. And the guy discussed the economics paper 1. Little did we know that it was a fake paper. And we had all paid for it. I don't remember the much we paid, but we all paid for it. And the only number that came, it was in section A, which only carried 3 marks. I almost cried tears when I was doing the economics paper. Opening page after page, there wasn't any paper that had been discussed in the night hours. Only one number like this in section A. But good enough. I passed my economics paper with a B. Shortly after the results, I was like, now, where do we go next? I managed to pay my fees at A level. I didn't tell you this, the long story, how I managed to pay the fees, but my dad was a carpenter by then, so he had taught me how to do carpentry work. So I used to do carpentry and then get. After senior 6, I didn't know what next. I'd asked for an opportunity at the university, that's Makerere obviously, to go study law, what. My name was nowhere to be seen on government sponsorship. So I was like, now, I haven't gone for this opportunity of government scholarship. I have to look for way forward now. You know what I did? We started looking for employment everywhere. We went to Nakawa. There were so many factories by then, Britannia, what. From there, went so many factories around Chambogo, even in Kampala. We did not get even a single employment opportunity. I was with a group of my fellow senior 6 leavers by that time. We sat down, we were about 8 of us, and he said, now, we are very brilliant boys. Why do we go around looking for jobs? Let us begin a school. So when we sat down with my fellow senior 6 people, I told them, for me, I've been doing history, economics, and literature, so I know how to teach English. By the way, if I started to teach you English, the next month or the next term, they can tell the English teacher to leave and let Godfrey Babi Kimera stay. But when we started the school, this is what happened. We got around, looked for a building, we hired the building, rather we rented the building for 1 term and told the man, you know what, we want to start a school here. Give us this opportunity. The man gave us the building, we put a school there, we taught students, 2 of them, for a full 3 weeks. We were 8 teachers by that time, teaching 2 students for 3 consecutive weeks. So I became a licensed teacher at that time. Members of Advanced Media Association, you're welcome. From that time, that's when I became a teacher. And I taught from that school, which is still existing as of now. It is called Namirembe Standard Academy along Mukono Kayunga Road. You know the school? Yeah. We started it. You go and open all the books of that school. We started it from 2 kids like this. How many children there? 2 kids in senior 2, not even in senior 1. After that teaching for about 2-3 years, 2 years, I enrolled to go and upgrade at the same time as I stayed teaching, and I went to Wumkat School of Mass Communication. So I started mass media. Why did I do mass media? It was my favorite kind of profession I wanted to. Because while in senior 5 at Bishop's Year School, you don't know how literature students behave, you people. You have not really enjoyed it. How many do literature here? Raise up your hands. Those who do literature. So you can even see there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But in my class, we were only 8 literature students out of 100 students plus who were at A level. So the way we were actually enjoying being literature students brought a lot of pride amongst us. So we would carry different novels, Wole Soyinka, Ngoji wa Thiongo, mentioned, and we would carry all of them. There were about 8 texts. We would carry about 8 of them. We put them around here, and we start walking around the school with one side of a little bench with books. So everybody was like, that one is a literature student. So everybody was fearing, and actually we were feeling that pride. But one thing I did that still either torments me, but which pushed me to do mass media, is when I wrote a story in our paper at Bishop's. It was called Luminous 2000. Anybody who went to Bishop's Senior School? No one. There was a paper. It was students' paper, Luminous 2000. So I wrote a story about one of the senior 3 students who wanted to compete for the disciplinary position and pinned the story on the notice board. So it read, I don't want to mention the name of that gentleman, a smoker competing for disciplinary position. So I wrote down everything, how we had been caught smoking at the farm. And now the head teacher by then came and read some of the stories at the notice board. He landed on this story written by Godfrey Babi Kimera. A smoker competing for the disciplinary position. Immediately, they called for the assembly. This time around, not for anyone's cause, but for my cause. And so the headmaster was very furious. He said, I want to see this gentleman they have written the story about. And just like students were actually a bit funny, they shouted, hey, that one, everybody, hey, that one. So the master was like, who is that one? They brought him in front and said, you man, you are the one they have written about. You smoke opium in my school. We have given you an indefinite suspension. From that day, the man left school, even left education. Little did I know that I would find that man on the streets of Mukono driving a Benz while I drive a Toyota. Every time I meet that gentleman, I keep on recalling how I made this man to exit the school, but how the story became a powerful story, that it brought a lot of some kind of intent for me to continue pursuing something of that nature. Indeed, I have pursued mass communication to a level of getting a master's degree from Makerere University. Dreams come true. Now my mother tells me that you man, for okuva mu buto twakulabanga ne taatawo nga ofunanga obupapula bwa mawulire ng'obusoma, kumbe wali oyagala kubeera musomi wa mawulire. Dreams come true. What is your dream? Who has a dream? Who has a dream? Man in red. Move up front. Who has a dream? Let me get also somebody who has a dream this side. Come. Let me get 2 from this side. Yes, one lady. Come. Another one who has a dream. Okay, you also come. We want to welcome members of the Adventist Media Association once again. Members from the different media houses have joined us this morning. We shall clap for them later on. Okay. Should I get one other person here who has a dream? Anyone who has a dream here? Okay, you also come. So the rest have no dreams. You are dreamless, isn't it? You have. Okay. So these people have dreams. We want to listen to their dreams shortly before you continue. What's your name?
Linda was a friend named.
Linda, what is your dream?
To become a state lawyer.
To become?
A state lawyer.
She wants to become a state lawyer. Agenda kubasiba mwena. What do lawyers do? Okay? They help people to get justice. What is the subject combination?
History, entrepreneurship, and divinity.
History.
Entrepreneurship and divinity. Stroking ICT.
Okay, she has some history and divinity. Okay. What really, and rather, away from getting people justice, what do you really, what actually prompts you to feel like you should be? What motivates you?
I'm motivated to be a lawyer because I've really been through a lot with my family. I've been through a lot with my family.
You have gone through a lot with your family. What do you mean by a lot?
A lot of suffering, like we have been denied justice some kind of many times.
May you listen to our story. It is a very important story.
We are denied justice since my dad passed away. So I really want to become a lawyer to help those other guys who are really like me. Yeah.
They have denied you justice since your dad passed away. Can you give us a simple hint about how they denied justice?
Like when my dad passed away, we only had to remain with my mom. All the other things he had left for us were taken away from us. The things that were meant to help us go through our education softly without getting through hard times. So it was left for our mom to struggle with us.
That's enough. Do you see why people want to pursue career? When the dad passed away, everything that was meant for them were taken away by relatives. You get it? And these are very many families in our communities. Your dad passes away today. The following day, people who did not even toil to do anything will come, throw your mother away and say, we want this house. So she wants to pursue that career. Probably she may not help the mom, but she will help people of that caliber. I'm telling you, you are going to become a lawyer. But what prompts a lawyer? You have to develop a kind of feeling that this should be, come what may. When you fail to get fees from your mom, you should find a way out until when you pursue that career. Let's hear from this lady. You know her very well? What is her dream? I have some sweets. Who can guess her dream? I have some sweets. Yes, this boy is here. I know boys really. Not the dreams of women.
Yeah, she wants to be a medical doctor.
Is that right? Did you share with him your... Huh? They all know. Everybody here. So I can't give my sweets. But for you in particular, why do you want to become a medical doctor?
Specifically, I want to specialize in pediatric neurosurgery as a medical doctor because I lost my stepsister to brain cancer. So most of the times, the only specialist that was in the country, there was only one, and they had to keep referring her to India, and she had recurrent tumors. Like, they would do the surgery, they'd come back, do the surgery, and it would come back, and it was becoming really expensive for my mother at the time to pay for all that. So yes.
What's the combination you're doing?
Biology, chemistry, math, sub ICT.
What is your likely average score? That one I leave. Average score, should I ask? No. She wants to become a medical, but this time specializing in pediatrics. Do you know what do pediatrics doctors do? Yeah? Yeah? You read about it, Google about it. Now let me go to the men. One of them wants to become a DJ. You can automatically tell who wants to become a DJ. Who wants to become a DJ? Point. Which one? This one or this one? The other one. Okay, DJ.
Happy Sabbath, everyone. Happy day. My name is Tukamushaba Elias, you all know. And my dream is I want to be a civil engineer, not a DJ as you have said.
The man wants to become a civil engineer. And engineers get a lot of money. You ladies, make sure you mark this man wherever he goes. You are denying that? To Kamushaba, what prompts you to feel like you can become a civil engineer?
Number one is that I have the love for it, and I'm inspired by my friends, because at one time there's some people I've studied with, we have been with them here, but when you look at someone, you find out that person is a changed person totally. That person is now also a civil engineer, and that person inspires you that you read hard, do everything in order to do civil engineering, because it's the best.
What are positive changes that you see? What are some of the positive changes that you see?
The positive changes that I see is that those friends of mine, if you checked with their homes before, they were not, they were still strugglers, but nowadays they are now very good.
Serious. So you see, the man wants to build a beautiful house for a beautiful woman around there. Who is that one? Don't mention the name. Okay. Did you study about the tallest man in the world? Who was that tallest man in the world? You didn't study that book. Okay.
I'm Linda Joseph, and I want to be a mechanical engineer, majoring in automobiles and trains.
Even me, have been defeated. This one is a man of cars. Shh. Who wants a beautiful car? Make sure you go and have relationship with this man. What do you do at senior 5, senior 6?
PEM stroke ICT. Stroke ICT. Physics, econ, and math.
Yeah. He's on track, isn't it? He's on track. All these people can become what they want in Jesus' name. Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11. The Bible says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future." Amen. We want to feel that whoever has a plan, the Lord has the plan, the same plan for you. A few things that you have to do is to make sure you reorganize your dream by doing one or two things. Because on the way you may find some obstacles. But as you continue, make sure you don't lose your track. One thing you have to do to make sure your plans go on, do the following things. You can write them. They are in the 3 Ds. 1, decide. You can just write 3 Ds. Decide. Once you decide, you also have to get determined. And lastly, you become dedicated. You need to make a decision, take a decision there and then and say, I want to become this. Please go on. I haven't seen anyone who wants to become a journalist. I may be ashamed before a team of journalists if I don't see one who wants to become a journalist. Can somebody rise up and say, I want to become a journalist? We are going to give you tips on how to become a powerful journalist. We have so many powerful journalists here. We shall introduce ourselves later on, and you definitely get to know how it's very important. But now you have to take the decision and say, I want to be this, point blank. 2, once you decide, make sure you continue working onto that determination by working and working upon it and dedicate all your life to achieving that. On the way, you may get some obstacles, but obstacles are stepping stones to make you rise higher. I want to stop here. And as I stop, I want to pray that everybody achieves the best out of your dreams. Amen? May God bless you.